Oh, hey there.
What's your name?
I'm Jamie.
I'm Christine. We are here to talk about A Court of Wings and Ruin. As we have been.
Yes, as we do.
What are we doing?
18 to 26.
18 to 26. Oh, that's a lot of chapters.
Some of the chapters are so small, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We can do it.
Yeah.
We can cover it all.
You can. You can handle it.
Okay. Tell us what you have made.
I have made good request, Christine. I should be prepared for that.
Meaning you have to look it up. What ingredients did you put in here?
Yep.
/ what are you calling it? What is this?
So it's actually originally called like a black magic drink. And it was on the Empress Gin website. It's supposed to be Empress Indigo Gin, but we still had the
blue one?
The purple.
Isn't indigo like purple though?
Yeah, this is also, oh my god.
Is it just a different shade of purple?
No, I think it's like a little bit of different like flavoring, but I think gin is like, it's not going to be like a huge.
We do what we want here.
Yeah, and I'm not going to buy another huge bottle of it.
Frugal ladies, if you didn't know already.
Oh, maybe, never mind, it is the same one. But okay, it's the correct one. Please ignore me. Yes, so it's the butterfly pea based one that I did use before, but it had said something different, so I thought it was different. I'm like, I'll just use this one. So it was the correct one. That worked out really well for me.
So what is it?
So the Empress Gin, grape juice, champagne, blue Curaçao, some edible glitter if you would like. They also in this recipe use dry ice, but I did not take that step.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is the next level up for sure.
Yeah, I want to do that eventually, but today was not that day.
Oh, I know when we need to use it.
Perfect. Okay, so
what are our options here?
Is it Ouroboros? Yeah, the Ouroboros. Yes, for the mirror that they talk about. And also like an Ouroboros, if you don't know, is like that snake eating itself symbol. Which I'm a huge fan of. So that's why I did like that. Or my other one obviously is Court of Nightmares. Or Lord and Lady Night.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I like the Court of Nightmares or the Ouroboros.
Okay, we're gonna go with Ouroboros then.
Okay.
It's fun, you know?
It is fun, and you don't like going with what's expected.
No, I don't. Like make it different.
And I will say it looks really cool. It's purple and sparkly. You have mirrors in the pictures this
Yes,
time.
I'm very excited to see how that turns out.
Okay, let's see if the beauty of it actually matches up with the taste.
Oh, it looks so pretty when you hold it in the light. Like the computer light.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love it. No, I love it. It's made like you can taste a little bit of the gin.
It's balanced.
It has that nice champagne fizz to it, but still like really like I think with the grape and the blue Curaçao.
Grape juice.
Okay, well I'll be making that again.
I like anything with champagne.
I know, same.
So it's a winner, baby.
Right? It always and grape. I forgot how much I love grape juice.
Grape juice is good, and it's not just for children.
No.
Spread the word.
I've gone to even like weddings or if I'm at like birthday parties and everyone's like, oh, there's like bubbly and like water pop. And I'm like,
where's the grape juice?
I'm like, but there's also juice boxes. Am I allowed to have a juice box? So I prefer that.
Yeah, I don't know children, so do I get one for me since I get the kids stuff too?
Yeah. I count as like half a child, kind of. No? Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, what do you rate the Ouroboros?
See, it's so hard to rate because I can't remember anything else that I've rated.
It's fine, you just go with your heart.
So right now I'm gonna give it a 7.2.
Oh. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Great. Yeah. Okay, good job.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah, is this the season of good cocktails or what?
Right? We had
might be.
A long dry spell there.
We did.
Yeah. So this is pretty exciting.
This is pretty hopeful here.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Yeah, do you want to just update a little bit about your recent reads?
Yes, so I did finally been reading other things besides what we've been doing, which has been nice.
Other than Goldfinch and Akawar.
Yeah, so I was like, I just kind of want to pick something that I know is not going to be too long. And I finished this so quickly. So it was Butcher and the Blackbird. I had seen it on so many different romantic people that we follow that they've read and like loved it. So I assumed there was going to be like an element of that to it. Halfway through, I realized there was not, but I loved it. It's about two serial killers. So if you're a Dexter fan, like I think we both are,
Yeah.
kind of had like those vibes because where they're like killing people that are like bad. But so it's like a serial killer.
Fine. It's fine.
Yeah, so I completely support it. It's a serial killer love story. It's just really like fun, really funny. There's just really like, I wish I could think of a word for it, but a certain vibe to it that I just feel like would be such a good movie.
Well, what was that movie you referenced?
Oh, Scott Pilgrim
Yeah.
versus the World. Like that's the kind of,
It's like reality, but not reality.
yeah. And just that, like almost like how it's, so you kind of like envision it too. But yeah, like I liked, and I did find it was like a book I think that got big on TikTok and then like exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just like, it was really fun and quick. Like not anything like, didn't like change my world or anything, but it's the kind of book you kind of want to read that's just.
Well, I think I need one of those.
Yeah, like I think you do need to read this because it's just a little fun, you know, like you need those like vacation type reads.
Yeah, is it kind of like how our experience with Bride a little bit?
Yes, like that, exactly like that. Also, he's Irish.
Perfect.
I love an Irishman.
Perfect.
There is some sexual things that happen in this book that were just new to me.
Like, oh?
Yeah, like we personally haven't done it, but it was very interesting.
Okay.
I'm like, good for this author for like going there because like I know people are into it.
Yeah.
But I liked that. Yeah, it was kind of that, but it's still like fun.
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's good news.
So I recommend it.
Okay, I'm choosing not to talk about my disappointment because I feel like every time I update anybody on, I'm like, no. So I'm gonna tell you about ones that I did like because I don't want to make anyone sad here. Let's have good vibes only.
Good vibes only.
So I did read 2 Adrienne Young books, and they're both standalones. So the first one I read was Spells for Forgetting. And so my description was that it's chill, whimsical murder mystery.
Do you have a cover?
I love her covers.
Oh, that is really beautiful.
Yeah, and all of her covers, even though they're standalones, they match.
Oh, yeah. Those are really pretty.
And so, yeah, I read Spells for Forgetting first, and it was like slow to get into the story, but it was almost like the slow pacing of it I didn't even mind because it was just like, oh, just listening to it on audio, it's just like, oh, you're in like a nice, it's like good vibes.
Like a nice fall walk.
I'm like, I don't even care that I'm not getting all of the story, all of the mystery until, you know, because it kind of wraps up fast at the end where you start to get all of the answers. Like, I didn't even mind it. I just, like, I was in the mood for it.
I like that.
And then, so I went on to do the Unmaking of June Farrow, which was another one of hers, and it was kind of same vibes. Obviously, completely different story, but still, like, whimsical. There's murder, but it's, like...
Is it, like, also fantasy, though?
A little bit. There's, like, a little bit of magic. And that's when I read Spells for Forgetting, I was like, okay, this is, like, witches, but, like, she barely mentions, like, magic and witches, so I was kind of like, okay, it's not really magical. If you just let go of that part, just let go of it, just enjoy it, just go with it. But yeah, it's like a little bit of magic kind of stuff, but not a lot.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah. And then she has another one coming out in the new year.
I think it's also, even just reading these like standalone books like this, like even the Butcher and the Blackbird, it does continue, but it's another 2 people from the story. I think it's almost like you get so used to reading these like romantic-y books that
There's so many in this series that it is nice to read a standalone.
Yeah. Where I'm just like, oh, like this is all coming together. It's so quickly. It's not really coming together that quickly. It's just a normal book.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Oh, another thing I liked from them is that both the main characters in those books are 30-something.
Oh.
That was another plus.
That's lovely.
That was another plus. because, when you get to fantasy, there's a lot of 20-somethings or
Yeah.
19-year-olds.
Well, they're 500-year-olds that look like 20-year-olds.
Or the main character is a human.
23-year-old.
Yeah.
23 is always a really...
popular one.
Yeah. Popular age to go with.
I do want to throw in, I read The Frozen River, too, by Ariel Lahan.
Mm-hmm.
So this was not fantasy, but it was, like, it's like a crime story, and there's some murder, but she's 50-something.
Oh, okay, yes, you did mention
refreshing. And it's,
Yeah.
like, from, I don't know, 1700s? I don't know. It's from a really long time ago when she's, like, a midwife.
Super long time ago.
And she still has sex with her husband.
Well, I hope so. You're only 50.
I know, but you just, like, don't get those stories where, like, she's still, like, she's a mom of, like, a bunch of kids, and, like,
Yeah.
she's a midwife, and you get to hear those stories of, like, her caring for, like, pregnant women, but it's also a murder mystery, but, like, she's also, like, you see the sexual tension between, it's, like, it's so
nice to
many
see that,
things
just...
that make sense, but
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, this is nice to read.
Yeah. Not just being portrayed like, okay, you're 50, so you
like,
hate your life with all your children, and you don't have sex with your husband anymore, and life is miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get married and have children.
Or they're just like, and I think I said this in my review of the book, it's like, she's not just a mom. When you hear, like, a 50-somethings in a book, it's like, she's, like, lots of different things.
I like that.
Those are my great experiences. I really liked those books.
Well, I'm happy you had some great experiences.
That's good. I'll keep the bad ones to myself today.
Yeah, let's do that. Goodreads is getting depressing for me.
I'm so sorry. If y'all want to be Goodreads friends, we can be Goodreads friends, and you could see my unhappiness on there. Okay, let's get into Akawar.
Yas.
So, Chapter 18, the family dinner conclusion, and Feyre and Rhys go for a walk.
Oh. I just really liked Moore's comments in these. That was my...
Proceed.
Obviously Moore is, like, upset about having to go to the Court of Nightmares. But I like her little, I suppose I have 2 days now to find a dress suitable to horrify my father.
I love that.
Right? I thought that was great. And
yeah,
then,
let's look so hot that my dad gets mad.
Yeah.
Although when we read later in these chapters, Kier does some, like, horrible things. Like, it's just, like, a gross person in front of her, too. So I'm like, yeah, more. Yeah.
You piss him off.
I get it. He's the worst.
And then after, like, Nesta storms off, Farrah's like, I heard, like, a clunk, and she looks, and it's a bottle of wine in front of her. And Moore just says, it's fine if you drink directly from it. I was just like, she had some good lines in this chapter.
Just drink directly from the bottle.
Yeah.
It's just, like, good.
Nobody will judge.
I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Drink.
And also I like that spewed wine was mentioned again. It was really just a throwback. Yeah. I think maybe Moore did it when Farrah said she wanted to fly. Don't quote me on that. But I do have spewed wine is back. I love it.
So we do get Nesta being agreeable here.
Yes.
Which, good for her. Because we talked about last episode about the family dinner and how horrible Nesta was, and she gave one compliment
About the food.
Yeah. So now she's agreeing to work with Amryn to figure out the wall stuff. So good on Nesta for being agreeable there, even though she's being nasty. Because it does give us hope that Nesta has those good seeds in her.
Yes.
Right? It does keep us going and not, like hating her 100%.
Yeah.
But she refuses to go to the High Lord meeting because Farrah is like, oh, I'll tell your story. And then, that might convince them, like, hey, here's what you experienced. Here's what you went through. And Nesta's like, fuck that. Fuck off, Farrah. Yeah. And that's not a direct quote. That's just what I got from it.
It's really what you're getting from her the entire time.
And she storms off. Like, no. And I'm not mad at her for it.
No, I get her, like, her explanation of it and everything. At first I was like, Nesta, like...
Don't whore out my trauma, Farrah.
But then when she kind of, like, says stuff like that, I'm like, no, I get it. Like, I don't want to go there and just be this thing for people to look at after this experience that I've had. So, yeah.
And this is a really, like, spotlight on how different her and Feyre are, where Feyre's like, I'll sacrifice anything to do good and help all the people, and blah, blah, blah. And Nesta's like, because in a sense, everything that Nesta went through, she had so many, like, not just her life, the same life that, or similar life that Feyre had. Then she goes into the cauldron and, like, her whole life has changed, and that's super traumatic.
And
like,
still so fresh.
Yeah, like, Feyre could have done that in a different way. Like, talk to her in private, or, like, prefaced it with, like, I know you've gone through so many things. Like, this is, like, it's so hard to do. This is what, like, it was very... I understand that it was a bit off-putting to be at, like, this big dinner table where Feyre feels comfortable with these people, or Feyre feels safe with these people, and she's like, hey, Nesta.
Yeah, and I think especially after her, like, agreeing to, like, a certain portion of it, where I'm just like, just take that win.
Right.
That she's agreeing to do that, when you can obviously see that she's having a hard time doing it. I do also understand, like, and I think we kind of see this a lot in these next couple chapters, Farrah's line that she's trying to figure out with being like, Farrah the sister, Farrah the high lady. And that's what they were all talking about, and probably, like, feeling the pressure to also step up and be like, hey, this is what, like, I need to do. But I do think in that instance, that was a time where she should have.
Yeah, it was an overstep, for sure. And then Feyre and Rhys go for a walk.
Oh.
So this was an interesting conversation, because there was the scene that we referenced when she was in Amren's apartment where she was snippy with Rhys. So I think this is where they kind of deal with it. So I did like that Rhys was reminding Feyre that she doesn't have to placate him or act subservient or to pretend with him.
Mm-hmm.
And that she can call him out in front of the inner circle because everyone else does. Right? That's kind of like how they function. But she's so used to acting differently, right? That you have to put on this facade, that you have to consider how things look, that you have to consider, you know, your man as the leader, the person, as she did with Tamlin, that he's reminding her, you don't have to do that with me. You are my equal, which is an adjustment.
Mm-hmm. But I do just, I like how just their communication, though, at least in this part.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's very much like how she does come back and say, okay, like, I agree, like, they talk it out, but still, like, we don't undermine each other in public, was one of her,
like outside of her, our close people.
Yes.
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
Do that,
which is different than being like subservient.
Yeah.
It's just like respect and like having a united front versus like, I'm the boss.
Which I really just think should be a rule in every relationship.
100. Oh, that's a really good point. That's, you know, like those couples where like someone will like talk about their spouse or something,
and like, not like a venting way to like their girlfriends type of thing,
right?
But I've been out with like people or couples where they've kind of like done that
in a larger group, where it's like,
where they're like they're together,
you're supposed to
even
be
when they're not.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's like your partner in life, like your number one.
Yeah, you have to protect like, them in a sense. And
yeah.
If you don't want to, then maybe you need to hold that.
But yeah, there's just like a time and a place to like do that. But just when I see people do that, it always like makes me upset.
Same.
Yeah. Like, no, you shouldn't. Yeah. So just in general, I think that should be a rule. For Fae and human.
So Feyre tells him to be careful with Keir.
Yes.
And to think about more. Which is foreshadowing for what Rhys later does, because he doesn't listen.
Yes, sir, Farrah, I take that in.
Yeah, he's like, totally, throw it back out. I should totally be careful. Yeah, totally.
Also, so concerned about that, Farrah. You're right. Yeah. I do also like that she does all of a sudden, like, it clicks into her that she's like, oh my god, you trust Lucien. You showed him your wings.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I just thought that was interesting.
And I almost feel like a part of it too. He's like, it's his trust in Feyre too.
Yeah.
That he sees that Feyre has a friendship bond with him, and that he trusts that he trusts her judgment.
Yeah.
That like, I can give him a little bit because I know that you love him, that he's your friend.
Yeah.
And so that makes me feel really good.
Right? I was like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was cute. And just like, no, you also thought it was like, you trusted him enough to bring him here and to have him around your sister. Like, obviously she doesn't fully trust him at this point because they kind of like get into that a little bit, but enough of it that, yeah, she's kind of.
So chapter 19, training with the boys with a Z.
Oh. I would just like to say that Reese sounds like a glorious person to wake up to in the morning.
Why? What happened?
Farrah's a bit tired when she gets to training because Reese woke her up and she like says it. She's like, oh, like I'm a bit like tired from this morning. It starts out, Reese in the morning was, I didn't have words for what it was when he was unhurried and lazy and wicked, when his hair was still mussed with sleep in his eyes, got that glazed, purely male gleam in them. They'd still had that lazy, satisfied glint a moment ago, and his mockingly chastity kiss on my cheek had sent a red-hot line through me. Obviously, she does have more detail about like what happens, but I was like, it just sounds so lovely.
It does.
I don't need to read the other parts, but
she does keep thinking about it.
I mean, just like, I love how it like describes him as like lazy, but it's like in such a beautiful way.
And I do like how they have this friendship where Cassian just like knows.
Yeah, like right away when she gets there.
Okay, I get that you're tired. I'm gonna assume what happened, and let's get to it.
And then I do like she says, 2 Illyrian males making me sweat in one morning. What's a female to do? Along with like Farrah and Lucian's friendship, Farrah and Cassian is like really up there with me. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Okay, so Cassian's mad at her.
Yeah. So unexpected because she's like, what did Nesta do? Like, why are you being so grumpy?
Why did you lie to me, Farrah? I wouldn't have risked your life if you were High Lady. Which is not a quote. That's just...
Oh, I was like...
That was just
looking.
My summary of his ranting. But his description of it, of like, okay, like... And Farrah's wondering too, like, okay, what would have been the difference, though? And then when he describes it, it's like, okay, well, Cassian, that's the reason. That's the reason, right? You all would have overprotected her because she's High Lady.
Yes.
But then I thought, do you do that with Reese? Because Reese is the High Lord. Wouldn't that be the same thing where you're going to be overprotective and not want to put him at risk? Because that's what he was describing with her. Oh, we wouldn't have put you in that risky of situation if you were High Lady.
Yeah, I feel like it was like, no matter, there was gonna even be nothing, like, it still would have happened, she would have went there, but there was nothing that would have changed even if you did know she was High Lady. Like, you still would have had to let her do that. You would have, just been, like, 10 times more, like, it just didn't, you were gonna be protected.
Well, that's the point, it's like, exactly what would have changed.
Yeah.
Because he did say, like, we wouldn't have put you at risk.
I think just in his mind it changed. Like, that's all it was. Like, you wouldn't have been able to do that. And I know he does get mad at her because he's just like, I think he's more mad that, like, you don't think you're essential.
Well, that was the second part of it, right? Where you risked yourself and you didn't think you were as essential as the rest of us.
Yeah.
Totally. Which is sort of Farrah's deal, right? It's her mindset.
Yeah, so I think that's almost more upsetting to him.
I love how protective you are of him.
Yes. But I do think that was, like, the more like, why he's almost reacting that way, too. And then we do find out more, which I think does make sense, about him saying it was, like, when Reese blocked them off when he went to Amarantha.
Right. Oh, that is a really good explanation, too, that he's very self-sacrificing in the same ways that she is.
Yeah, and I think it must be frustrating, obviously, to see and to watch, and to when you just want to, like, help the person and friend that you love. And
which more of that is going to come, like,
it's
them not keeping people in on the plans, and they're both so similar and frustrating, right? I imagine, so frustrating for them. Yeah.
But I get, like, he does go into more of it, just saying, like, when I got cut off like that, when, like, Reese did that and cut us off, and he's like, it's never been so silent in my head. And then he goes on to say once he woke up after Highburn, he's like, that same thing happened again.
Right. Oh, you know what? That would be a good, like, extra chapter, is to see the inner circle reuniting after Reese had been gone for that many years.
And just like, oh, yeah, that would
Just
be.
him seeing them again.
Yeah, that would be good.
Anyway. So Nesta then shows up.
All right.
Which then Feyre is uncomfortable because then Cassian and Nesta have this weird staring thing.
And then they start arguing a little bit, and it's just...
So she gets an out, though, because she also has to have training with Az.
Right, because Feyre's going to learn how to fly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, good for her. It sounds terrifying, and I wouldn't want to do it.
So I thought that Az, he's so patient, and he's soft, but he's hard, but he's mysterious.
Right? Like, I just want to... I want him to talk more. Like, it just... He's so mysterious. Like, him and Cassian are actually just complete opposites.
They are, but we believe that they're friends, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking, too, we didn't get a lot from him in Akamath.
No, not at all.
So I do like these scenes where we get to know his personality a little bit more and, like, okay, why does Inner Circle actually like him? Because if he's just like a silent, brooding, tough man, spy master, why do we care? Why do you guys like him? And so in these scenes, we actually get to know a little bit of that more.
I do like after Feyre builds her wings, which sounds beautiful. He's praising her for her artistic work in detail. But so he asked to like feel the wings because he needs to do that. And she says it's like the arch of the foot is being tickled or poked. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds awful. And I hate it. I do get pedicures, but I don't get them for like enjoyment. Like some people are like, no, because you get like a foot massage and stuff. My feet are very ticklish.
Yeah, no, I can't do it.
And so go to one place and they know. And so they don't even, I'm like, yep, like you just get the things you need to get. I do not want to kick you in the face. And then some parts I'm literally, like Mom will be talking to me and I feel like you can't talk to me right now. I'm focusing so hard on not like bolting my foot up.
Not booting someone in the face.
And being so uncomfortable. So I'm like, just how it was described.
That's my worst nightmare. That's why I don't do that. Because I will. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hate it.
Also, Feyre working out her her wings. It sounds very painful.
Yeah. So painful. Like the muscles and...
Yeah.
I was just like...
The muscle strain and the pain. Ugh. Okay, chapter 20. Info dump. And library time. Reese is like, I heard they let anyone in libraries in the continent.
I also wrote that part down. Like,
humans are so progressive. To let anyone in the library?
It's wild.
Wow. But obviously there's a lot of history to that. Fae burning down libraries or not letting humans in because they don't have information.
Books get hurt in the war.
Or they don't want to have their information, I mean.
Yeah. But also, books get hurt in the war. It made me sad.
Yeah.
Which if you have read other, it reminded me of other Sarah J. Maas books with Billy Crescent City. That's also ends up becoming, not like a big portion, but like... a thing about it. Really, just reading this, I'm like reflecting on like books and libraries and just how great they are.
Okay, well mine was darker.
Okay.
But it mirrors reality. Like just in terms of like access to libraries, but it looks like, experience that like racialized folks, women, disabled people, like not being able to have entry into basic sort of public things, like even just having access to books and reading. It's like, I don't know, these are the types of things in these books that, and in lots of other fantasy books, where it's in another reality and it's in another world, but we still get the themes that are relevant to our world, right?
Yes, I was actually going to say I have written down at some part in these next few chapters that I find a lot of things that are coming up are very mirrored in...
irrelevant.
Yeah, like our reality, but just in different terms, I guess, or in the Fae world, but it's still very
a few of them
real.
come up in these chapters.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, the library one reminded me of it.
Yes. Yeah, and there's a couple...
And then, obviously, we get in the... What's about to come is, like, people who experience abuse and survival, the power and control, the hierarchy.
Yeah.
We get so many of these themes in this book, and obviously the ones before, but... for whatever reason, the library conversation reminded me so much of that, where it's like, yeah, no, that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm laughing at Reese going like, yeah, oh, you have libraries, but like, okay, well, no, that's actually like a part of our dark history as humans. That is a thing.
Yeah,
that
or
happens.
like in wars, and they would
Yeah.
burn specific books, and
Yeah. Oh, and then it's even reoccurring. We don't have that so much where we live, but in other parts of the world and other parts of the States of just
even in
banned
the
books.
States, I saw like a thing like it's supposed to be like books that they have banned in schools,
Yeah.
and some of the titles, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right. And we'll just where we live in Canada, that's like that doesn't happen. So it does seem very like, whoa, what is happening?
Yeah.
That people are so scared of that. Yeah.
Look, you guys are gonna ban Harry Potter? Okay,
And not for the right reason.
Yeah, not for the right reasons, but there was like other book titles, and yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I know. Okay, let's go to the library.
Let's not get into real life politics.
Clotho. I do like to try to imagine the library, like what it looks like.
Same, and I like how Farrah's like, did you go sledding down it?
Oh, I love that part too. Yeah,
and
that would have been my first instinct.
Right, like,
and he's
which
like,
he
yeah,
does say
me
they
more
did it.
did.
Yeah, and I love when they get over to like their little corner, and just like the description of it.
Okay,
like,
wait, what about the Cassian going into
the pit? Oh my god,
pit?
right, yes.
Because Fear's like, what's down there?
Yeah.
And Reese is like, we don't know. But we once, dared Cassian to go down there. And then when he came back up, he was white as a sheet and he wouldn't talk about it to anyone else.
And to scare Cassian like that.
You didn't talk about for 200 years. Really? You still didn't tell him what you saw? Come on.
Yeah, like, I'm like, what is it? But they're just like, yep, no, just don't go down there and don't talk about it. Okay, but so I do like when they went over to like a little corner, and it's just a description of it. And there's leather couches, tea, biscuits and sandwiches, and a fireplace. It just sounds like my perfect...
It's a dream.
Right? I was like, this sounds like just the perfect little nook. And I don't know why everyone doesn't spend more time in here.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Reese did say that he does go down there when he wants to spend time, but then Feyre makes fun of him, which I love too.
Yes, which I do also love that.
Poor Broody Milk, which is like, it's a little mean, Feyre, but...
But it's like your thing that you two have.
I'm a Clotho laugh.
But I'm also like, I would 100% be Reese coming down here to brood and be sad.
Totally.
Leather nook with a fire and tea and sandwiches. Sign me up.
Okay, so I keep saying it wrong. I was listening to the audiobook today and it's Clotho.
Yeah.
I was saying Clotho.
Oh.
Clotho. So we learn that Clotho was attacked by a group of males, cut out her tongue, mangled her hand, which all is in service of this really cool story about Reese having this refuge for victims in the library where they are able to live there temporarily or they're able to stay and become priestesses. It's just, I
feel like the library already is a sanctuary for a lot of people.
Right.
And then he really just made it into like even a more beautiful sanctuary.
Yeah.
Which I think he does like talk about how like Moore was a part of that. Which I like that they kind of did that.
And helped Clotho, yeah.
Yeah, together.
And I think maybe this was referenced in last episode. When I'm in a certain mood, I get super annoyed by this book and the characters. And so I would like to say I'm not always on my own side. Like some of my notes are like, why is he such a good person? Why am I annoyed and rolling my eyes? Why am I a cranky bitch? Like almost it's like when he's being a good person, I'm like, oh, shut up. Shut up.
Yes, you literally have that.
Shut up, Feysand.
Why am I a cranky bitch?
Like, oh, you're a good person. You're such a good person. But then I...
Oh, good for you.
But then I quickly turned around because then there was that scene where Feyre's getting turned on and Reese is doing shit to her and then he winnows away and then I was like, yes! Yes, you redeemed really yourself. That was so funny. Yeah. So funny to me. And she's like, what? Where are you? Where are you?
And he's like laughing 3 floors down.
Just like so horny and so sad. Oh, that's good.
Oh my god. I do also like that they make a joke about her reading at one part. Right when that's like
Do
happening.
they?
Yeah.
See, I love that. I love
I
the mean
know.
funny. It has to be with the right person, and it.
Yes, it does, or else it's rude.
Okay, chapter 21. Amren and Nesta visit, and Feyre's nightmare.
It's a very nostalgic nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, not much happens with the Amren and Nesta stuff. I was just like, oh yeah, Amren's mean. But, like, also Feyre's, like, really testing her. By, like, giving her the 20 questions while she's busy. I would also be
Well, it was also
Feyre.
because they're going to go see the Bone Carver. And they're also not telling Amren about it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's, like, trying to get answers from her, but not telling her exactly why.
And then she's trying to rationalize not telling Amren about going to the prison, but it's a pretty weak reason. It's just like a reminder of how Rhys does things. And it's just like, Feyre, you're not doing this because you're like, oh, what if Hybern finds out you're doing it because you don't want the conflict? You don't want the conversation. You don't want Amren to say something different. You just want to do what you want to do because that is what you want to do to protect other people.
I can relate, Farah. I just have Nesta and Amren. I like how they're like BFFs, and it's someone that Nesta can hang out with, and she's not like super mean to, which is nice.
Because she can't.
And yeah, she really can't mean to her.
Or Amren takes it differently or doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that duo.
And then Farah has a nightmare. It's a very nostalgic nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Claire Bedore was back.
Claire Bedouard. Except for it's Elaine and Nesta.
Yes.
And then Bree's walking away with Amarantha. I don't know. I was just like, it's just like Feyre feeling like out of control.
Yeah, which is
right?
understandable. What is with like the puking with the nightmares though?
I have no idea, Jamie. I don't know. I've never done it.
Right? I was like, no, like I don't think I've ever like puked from a nightmare. I'm like, I obviously have not experienced any of this, so maybe I would.
Yeah.
But she gets really sick from her nightmares.
Yeah. You should see a doctor. Chapter 22. Bone Carver visit with Feysand.
Oh.
Look, do you notice I had another
I love
platonic
it.
couple name?
I love it so much.
Feysand meaning Feyre and Cassian.
I love it.
One of the things I noticed in this next portion of the book, not just this, because I've read ahead to next episode's chapters too, but I'm just like seeing things throughout this book that I'm realizing reading it again after finishing Crescent City, after finishing Throne of Glass. And if for those who haven't, I'm not going to spoil you at all, so don't worry. But those who haven't read those other series or finished those other series, there is connections between them all.
Right? Like you pick up on it more now.
So I have picked up on some things where I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that comment or that small little thing that we're going to get a little bit of, there's like little tendrils of strings to connect.
So many. I feel like,
It's
especially
really
this
cool.
book, you're picking up on it so much.
I didn't realize that, so I really like that.
So he does drop them off at the prison, and you can see he like doesn't want to like leave Farah, and Cassian's like, get back to Valaris, you mother hen, we'll be fine.
I do like calling it mother hen because I think that's a very accurate description.
Right? It is. It's a great description. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Okay, so we do get to the Bone Carver.
So Feyre now realizes that little boy that she saw last time she was at the Bone Carver looks like Rhys. And so she realizes.
And then she's like, oh, but that's my father's smile or father's mouth or something.
So she realizes, oh, that's our son.
Yeah. Bone Carver, you are crazy.
I love the Bone Carver.
Yeah. And then he like realizes that she realizes, so it's even funnier to him. He's like, oh, you finally got it.
Oh, you got it. Right? It's like he likes pranks or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that'd be so creepy though.
It's so creepy. But also, isn't that just like children?
Yeah, children are
You're just
creepy.
like, oh, you look exactly like me.
Yeah.
But like, you have my husband's smile. But you look like me.
It's true.
That's creepy. But it's more creepy when the voice coming out is not your son.
Yeah, and they're
it's
talking
actually
not
the
like a
Bone
child.
Carver, which is like a death demon.
Yeah.
We learn that Nesta took something from the cauldron, ripped it out with her teeth.
Yes. And that Rhys just keeps the randomest bones.
Oh yeah, no, that's just a regular part of his life.
Yeah.
He collects bones
Just
for
in
this
case.
purpose.
Yeah, which I love, because it was the Ator bone. And I was just like, are you just like grabbing the randomest bones when things happen? And Fairy's like, I didn't even know we had it.
Well, Feyre, you should start collecting bones. But yeah, Nesta ripped out something within the cauldron with her teeth. Oh.
Yeah, that part was like
Yes,
huge, like
Nesta.
just, and he kept saying Nesta, Nesta, Nesta. It sounded super creepy.
Chapter 23. The Bone Carver is very chatty because we continue to this chapter and it's just him talking.
Yes, he tells us a lot though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what's something so funny? The twin sister, and it's the Weaver.
They're twins? I
Yes.
didn't pick up on that.
Who's in my house?
I have middle.
What?
Oh, never mind. She's in the middle.
She lives in the middle.
She lives in the middle. And then their brother lives by a lake. And they're all death gods.
Koshi.
That was crazy though.
Oh, and the
Weaver's his
Weaver's
sister.
real name is Striga.
Yes.
That's
I like
fun.
Weaver. Straga's kind of nice, but I like Weaver better.
But yeah, the brother and sister are confined elsewhere, and they are death gods,
Yeah.
and we have no idea what that means.
No. He's scared of them. When Ferris like, we'll let you out. He's like, I'm good.
I'll hang out here.
No, I'm hiding. I don't.
And you know what? I feel like I'm same vibes as the Bone Carver. Same vibes. I would also
Good.
just like to hang out in my house on my couch and just not don't bring me bones, but bring me books and booze.
Books and booze. That's all I want.
Just bring me a glass of wine and a book and just I'll be in this corner.
Yeah, you can chat with me for 5 minutes maybe, and then
Random visitors just come in and ask me questions, and then I answer them with all of my knowledge, and then you leave. That sounds wonderful to me.
this is really a dream.
Yeah, I get it. So he agrees to help Feyre if he gets the Ouroboros mirror, which is our drink today. A window to the world. Whatever that means.
Yes. Yes.
So after they leave, Feyre asks Cassian, would you be frightened of her if Nesta was death? Or if her power came from it?
I'm a warrior. I've walked beside death my entire life. I would be more afraid for her to have that power, but not afraid of her. Nothing about Nesta would frighten me.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was just a weird response to that.
She actually, yeah.
I love what he said, and I feel like that is so true, how he's like, I've walked beside death, and thanks.
Thank you.
Maybe just I know you'll...
I mean,
I get it,
I kind
but
of get
yeah.
what she means. Just I think Feyre understands his connection with Nesta, kind of his
Yeah.
draw to her. So she's just checking in. Oh, you're, I don't know, you get her.
Yes. So
You get her darkness. Okay, chapter 24. Elaine is losing it. Lucian's mind and mate talk with Rhys. So let's go to Elaine is losing it. Obviously,
I would just like to first say,
Yeah.
we start off the chapter with Farrah randomly trying to fly by herself.
Oh, right.
And then she just falls, obviously, and hurts herself. And she's so happy no one saw me. I just liked that part.
I love her confidence
Yeah,
flying.
Yeah, I'm just going to winnow to the closest I can get, and I'll just fly down into there and just, yeah.
It's very risky.
I know. Okay, now we can continue.
So Elaine's losing it, and I do like the trajectory of this storyline because Elaine being the weird ghost woman in the sunroom is strange, so I'm like how this is evolving.
She's now in the library area.
Right. First we get a really good part, which is Feyre clapping back at Nesta. Finally. She's not you know what I mean? She gives her a passive-aggressive snort. When Nesta says something. And I love that. I love that. She's like, I'm not dancing around you anymore.
Yeah.
Come on. we're housing or feeding you. We're trying to do our best to support you. Like, give me something.
Yeah, and this is also something I feel like Elaine that we both agree on and both want the same
Right.
things from.
Right. We both care.
Yeah.
We both care. Like, stop pretending like you're the
only one. And I think there is some calmness in their conversation. Like realizing they want that. Right? Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, I'm like, you gave me weird looks. I was like, right? No? Am I saying it wrong?
They pander more to Elaine. Feyre puts on her soft voice. Says, "What are you looking at?" Which is just a reminder again. She is... Elaine is the older sister.
Yeah.
And just like the way that they treat her, it drives me crazy.
Well, this made it even worse.
And obviously she's going through some shit, but it's still very pandering. Oh, Elaine, honey, what are you looking? It's like,
I feel like I might talk to her like that too, because I feel like she's crazy right now and not like responding and saying crazy things. So
yeah,
I probably would
still talk to her like a normal person.
Yeah. I know you have one part, but I want to say another part.
Okay.
Where she mentions like, oh, I could bring you like to the garden. She's like, will I hear the earthworms writhing through the soil? Or the stretching of roots? Will the bird of fire come to sit in the trees and watch me? Like,
The reason I didn't put that quote down, because I was like, Elaine, that makes sense. That's the sensical thing Elaine said. To me.
Well, like, yeah, it does, but it's still Elaine, just like...
Totally.
It's...
No, it's still in like a weird...
Creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, read yours.
I can hear the sea. Even at night, even in my dreams. The crashing sea and the screams of a bird made of fire.
Yeah, so right? I would be talking softly to that.
If you started saying that shit? No, I'd be like, Jamie. Jamie, look at me. Jamie.
There's no bird on fire.
Stop it.
Just stop.
Then Feyre goes into Lucian's mind because Lucian walks in to go to the library, but then Elaine is there.
Yeah, so he didn't do it on purpose.
He didn't.
No, sweet Lucian.
Or did he? But he does go in there, and then Feyre goes into his mind. Oopsie!
Just snuck right in there.
Which, all of the commentary within his mind, none of it I was surprised by.
No. It's just very, like, worrisome and...
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's got good intentions. And then obviously Elaine is still heartbroken over her engagement. Yes,
I do also like that he, at one part, like, notices the carpet or something. And then he's like, oh, it's, like, this threading. It's from this place. Like, he very specifically knew where this, like, rug was from.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, he does have good, like, admitting that Rhys has good taste.
Yeah.
And something with the decor. I just really enjoyed that part. I'm like, Lucian also apparently has good taste. That. Yeah, like, I like that he noticed that and appreciate it.
Okay, so we did get this scene where Nesta has this look in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Or her eyes look funny. And like there's fire in her eyes, but I don't know if it was Lucian or someone else who's like, yeah, but it's not fire.
It was Lucian, because I think
it's Rhys not my fire. It's
kind
of
looking to him,
fire,
yeah,
like Autumn Court fire. But
yeah,
it's like ice, fire, and then Feyre guesses that her power is death, or death made flesh.
Yeah, which I do think like Lucian does look at her like, "What are you?"
Yeah,
and she kind of Nesta whispers, "It's like I need to give something back."
And we kind of. That's connected to like the Bone Carver conversation, but
yeah,
we're like, whoa, what is Nesta?
Oh no.
Okay, and then we get into the mate conversation because we do see the bond between Az and Elaine,
mm-hmm,
and how he's so gentle with her.
Yes,
but I also think part of it is like his gentleness because he is someone who has been so traumatized.
Yeah,
that he sees Elaine in like a really special way.
Yeah,
that he is so gentle with her. And that he feels such a bond with her that he's able to just be like, hey, let's go see the garden and like whatever. And then she sees that and that like
they're she's probably able to just feel that from him, that like he's giving off that,
which is so sweet.
I know, I do love it. And there is like a part where like Az kind of like blushes a little bit or something, but I'm like, it's just still, I think, just like a sweet friendship and supportiveness that what he's doing for her.
And so Feyre asks a question like, to Rhys, why can't they be? Like, why is Lucian her mate? Why isn't Az her mate? Like, she's confused by that.
Well, because, like, Rhys said, like, his parents and, like, Tamlin's parents,
they felt like they weren't a good match, but they're mated, so that's confusing. And that the mate bond is something, like, I don't know, so ancient that what is... And Rhys, it seems like he's making guesses. Okay, maybe, you know, whatever, it's because of this, there's something within this bond that has potential, maybe? That's kind of what it sounds like?
Yeah, something like the cauldron or whatever, they see, like, potential in these two people.
But no matter what, you have the ability to deny the bond. And that kind of gets into the debate, which is a really big debate within the ACOTAR series, people who are fans of that community.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, I have my preference of Elaine and Lucian, but I'm also not, like, I am not mad at anybody for thinking otherwise.
No.
I'm kind of like when I read stories like this, the author, it's their story. I still think of it as their story, right? I'm just a reader.
Yes.
So whatever Sarah J. Maas does, I'm just going to go with it, even if I'm like, oh, I want Lucian and Elaine. I'm just like, okay, well, it's the story that she's telling, that it's her mind, and these are her characters.
And, like, she knows so much more about these characters, obviously, than what we know. And that we will ever know, really.
One thing I thought of, too, I don't know that Lucian right now, it seems like he's a good match for Elaine, but when I do think of Lucian in ACOTAR, like that the Lucian that we met when he first met Feyre, when they had so many funny moments.
Yes, they were.
So much banter and so much conflict, and he was so funny in some moments. We don't see funny Lucian in this book.
No, we don't.
We don't see funny Lucian in Akamath.
No.
We see funny Lucian in ACOTAR.
Yeah.
Where he is at ease and he feels at home.
Yes.
Once Feyre came into the picture and sort of, like, fucked shit up with Tamlin and Tamlin went cuckoo, he had different vibes. And so I feel like if he got back to that Lucian, where he was, like, fun and adventurous and, like, likes to fuck with people, but, like, is, like, more like his fox version of himself,
well, like, Rhys
but still
does
kind.
say something at one point, like, he's had the fox mask for a reason.
Right.
And I think that was more, like, descriptive of his personality in the beginning.
Right, so if you think of that guy with Elaine, it's like, oh, that actually seems like a good balance, versus Lucian right now is a bit like, he's like a sort of helpless dog.
Yeah.
Like a little golden retriever, which I think is not Lucian at his best.
No, I think he's just really trying to find a home right now.
He's trying to find his place.
Where he belongs. And
just like Elaine is.
Yeah.
So I think that would be an interesting match.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you think otherwise, whatever. I don't care. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. I mean, I do care.
I care, but I don't care. Okay. Chapter 25, The Court of Nightmares. Finally.
Whew. It's been a while.
I do like in this scene, obviously Rhys makes them bow to Feyre.
Yes.
But then there's magic that sort of crawls towards her.
Oh, yes, I love that.
And she says something like, a mouse caught in a cat's claw. And she grabs it. And they're like, oh.
Right? And then she says she can kind of, like, see the people in the crowd whose magic it was, like, testing her. She's like, oh, do you wish to have this back?
Oh, I love it.
Is
that her Pretty Woman moment?
Ooh, yes. Actually, I think that might be even more. And
what's the Pretty Woman quote?
Oh my god. Oh. You were on commission, right? Yes. Big mistake. Big. I don't think that's how it goes. Yes, like,
okay, so both was right.
Yeah,
big
I was
mistake. Like, big. Huge.
I was like, I know she says huge. Ooh. Pretty Woman moment.
So then we get more Kier. Oh, Kier. He wants to do the deed with Feyre. That is what he's asking for. This man is so weird.
I don't think he actually does want to. It's just
that's
his,
what I'm thinking too. I'm like, what is his motivation? What is happening here? He treats her like hot garbage the first time that we see her in the Court of Nightmares. in A Court of Mist and Fury, but now he wants to do her. Like, what is the point of this? Is it to bug Rhys? Is it to that he just like
It's just a thing, like that's something he can take from him. Like it's not
know.
actually.
But then he just like this is the thing that I was talking about. He just like more sitting there too, and it's just like I don't know.
Just he's not a great human.
Yeah.
I do need to just reference one point. Is I think I just do have here is Kier is ew. But they're like sitting at the table and someone like puts something down or whatever. And Farrah has to remember to like not say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And like in her mind, she's like, here, I did not thank anyone. And it just reminds me of in Harry Potter when Hermione's Bellatrix and they first like
Oh right.
land. And she says something like, good day.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. That's just exactly like what that. She's
Yeah.
like, right, like, no, I'm evil and I don't say thank you.
Griphook is like, yeah, don't be nice to people. Yeah. Stop it. That's not what you have to say.
It's another thing now I want to look up and find out what it was.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, at the end of this chapter, Eris walks in. Hot, evil Eris.
Yes.
Chapter 26. Court of Nightmares continued. Eris is back. Back again.
And Moore is pissed. Pissed.
She's shocked and pissed and sad and mad and betrayed.
Yeah, which I get that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're obviously using him for his ties to the Autumn Court and to try and sway Kier more.
Yeah, which I didn't truly understand, but...
No.
But maybe just to help Kier see that, okay, you're not on the right side of this, that we have allies.
Yeah, and it was, they do make a reference to, like, someone you've been wanting to ally for a long time is the Autumn Court, so it's, like, something that you want.
Kier also wants to go to Valeris. That's one of his, like, okay, all right, well, I can't have sex with Farrah, but how about I go to Valeris? And one thing I thought was really funny, he's like, I was wondering where you guys all went. That's not a direct quote, but, like,
yeah,
like I was wondering where you guys all went.
Yeah, because I think Rhys does say, like, yeah, you can have, like, his house, like, above the mountain.
Right.
Like nothing.
But, like, that's so funny that it's just like, okay, well, if the Court of Nightmares existed and then there's the house above it.
Yeah.
Where did Kier think that Rhys was going?
Yeah.
That he just, like, hung out in that small house and then that was it?
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
What were you guys doing all this time?
Where were you guys?
I just have to also down, this is the most uncomfortable meeting ever. I really just don't like that the only two females that are there have no fucking idea what's going on. I got really frustrated and mad at that part. Yeah. Where they're both like, what is happening? When, like, the stuff's coming out, and it just made me, like, I was really upset about it.
Yeah. No, Rhys did bad.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we agree.
I need to talk about this part. I really like this part.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Like, just in reference to what Eris did to Moore. Eris is basically like, Moore, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, that there's more to the story.
Yeah. I'm just more curious for the full story.
But he's also like, I don't want to waste my breath telling you. But it's like, Eris, it's been hundreds of years, my man.
Mm-hmm.
To have a conversation about what happened between you and Moore.
Yeah.
Babe. My babe. Come on. Just tell us. Just spill the beans. Tell us what happened. And he's like, oh, I'll tell you one day. It's just like...
Yeah, like, why have you not...
Just say it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you don't want to say to this meeting, but just in general... Obviously, maybe it's, like, part of, like, what Rhys did as his facade. That, like, if there was an explanation, he doesn't want to say it for other reasons. I can see that. Yeah.
When he looks at her, he's like, I knew why you did it. I wouldn't have touched you. And then he secret smile at Moore.
Yeah, and he said there was more forces at work that you never considered.
Yeah, they're just so secretive. Like, why actually haven't you guys talked about this?
Just tell us.
Yeah.
But, which was really interesting, he denies his part in killing Jasminda, Lucian's former lover, that he had refused, and he actually helped his brother, letting Tamlin know to help Lucian over the border. So that makes you wonder.
Right? Like
Eris has proven to be evil in some ways. We even see like the violence he had towards Feyre. So we know that, but it's like, what? We need to know.
Yeah, I really do want to know, because it is like, you just from these books, like reading like the Reese portion, right?
Right. It makes you question.
In the beginning, and you're like, oh, this guy's not good. Not great. Things aren't looking great for him.
What is Eris's story?
Yeah.
I want to know.
I would also like to say there is like a thing online where people want like Eris and Asriel to be together.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And I also love that.
I don't mind that.
Yeah. That's another love match I would appreciate.
That would be a fantasy thing of like enemies to lovers for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that would be...
What would be their couple name? Aziz? Ariel?
Two Azes.
Ariel sounds way better than Aziz.
No. Oh, there's the two Azes.
Okay, let's get into casting.
Casting call.
We're getting into the weeds. The weeds.
I was surprised when you
even
put this down when I was reading. I'm like, oh, she's not gonna put this one.
We're taking what we can get here.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Clotho.
Who do you got?
I got Parker Posey.
Oh, that's a fun one.
I know, I love it.
She's fun.
Because I do think Clotho, even though she has her hood and whatever, she does have a little bit of sassiness within her responses to Reese. And she like tilts her head and she chuckles. Like she has a fun side of it.
Oh, now I'm like second guessing who I picked.
And then I don't think this is a spoiler, but just like in further on in this series, I think she also has like she has an authority and a confidence.
Yes.
That we see later.
Yeah,
that I thought Parker Posey is really good with both.
When you think about Parker Posey, what's the first movie that comes to mind?
Josie and the Pussycat Dolls. I'm so sorry, Parker
I know,
Posey.
she's been in so many
but she's so good in that movie.
Yeah,
that movie is like, she's so good.
Yeah. Oh, we should be that for Halloween one year. But yeah, immediately, and I know she's been in so many things, but anytime I think about her, I'm like, oh my god.
I loved her in that.
It was so good.
What about you?
I had Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of more went for like a different, obviously, like demeanor of it.
No, I mean, I think Gwyneth is...
I mean, she also can play...
She's lots of things.
Yeah, she can play lots of different, but now that you kind of like say more of that about her, I was like, oh, I probably might have went down a different route.
Oh, whatever. I mean, we don't get Clotho, we don't get a ton, right? It's...
Yeah. Okay. MVP.
I'm gonna be honest. I forgot to pick one.
I always forget to pick one.
I know, this is so you.
Oh, then you're just not gonna like go with it.
I'm trying to think of it.
Benefit of us never picking one is then usually you just talk first. I'm like, oh. Sometimes I do actually have one in my mind.
Okay, I have mine. Mine is the Bone Carver. He's a character that keeps coming up. He's just so fun.
Yes, he's super fun.
He's isolated, and of course I already said like his description of him just like, no, I'm cool here. I'm like, I get it. I relate.
I don't need to be out of this prison.
We are one and the same. I am also a death god. Oh my
god, do you guys need a couple name?
Maybe.
Christine Carver. No, that's just like a full name.
Bontine.
I like it.
And he just, he seems as if he also just... Can I say he also seems good a little bit?
Yeah, no,
even though he's like this death god, he also seems like he has a fondness for Feyre, same as the Suriel, where it's just like, he's like, yeah, I know I want it to go in this direction and I'm helpful. So he doesn't seem as evil as maybe what's intended.
Yes.
And so I like his vibes.
Yeah, I like it. That was a great choice.
Thank you.
I'm gonna choose my man, Cassian.
Okay.
I really enjoyed I think, his conversations with Farah about how he was upset and him explaining that and also being like, you guys need to ask for help. And I think I just really appreciate his like openness and honesty. And I think really seeing it in comparison to Asriel, like how they actually are really very opposite, but how Cass is able to like open up and be like, I'm upset with you because of this. It just really made me love him more than I already did.
He has good communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Feysand. Pick your
yeah.
team. Feysand or Fushin.
Oh, that's a tough one, actually.
That's going to be our poll this week, I think.
Yeah. Can we
I'm always team Fushin.
Can we just add me and Cassian in that? Because that would be my choice.
Oh, Jacian?
Jacian. Kami. No, Jacian's better.
Yeah, Jacian's better than Kami.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the end of it.
Okay, yep.
If you are not already following us on social media, please join us there. We are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, and we are trying our very best to post videos and post wonderful drink pictures that Jamie takes pictures of, and they are beautiful.
Guys, I'm a professional.
She is actually a professional, yeah. So it's really a treat to get these cool drink pictures. And yeah, are we not always on time with getting our drink pictures out as soon as the episode's out? No, but they will be there.
Yeah,
don't you worry.
Be beautiful. And oh, I was going to say something else. It left my mind. But like, subscribe, tell your family.
Yeah, wherever you're listening, give 5 stars, give a comment, participate on our Spotify polls. Mm-hmm. It's actually like really, really helpful and really appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you next time. Toodaloo.
Bye.